Iya sih. Yang penting ada orang kantor buat di YouTube. Masa nggak ada orang?
I think we have done the UI data and then we do the production order. So after the production order, we start the production. So what happens when you start the production is you move the stocks from the warehouse. So basically from the warehouse into the work in progress warehouse. So the logic behind the stock, the production order is like when you start the production, it will create a new stock entry. The stock entry will take all the required items from your store, so your warehouse, into the work in progress warehouse. So for that, we can when we move all the actual items into the production order, we can save. And then we can submit the stock entry. So, like after you submit the stock entry, the production order will be status as in process. So basically, you already started the process of the production order. So it will take some time. So when we do the production order, we do the labor. So the labor is connected to the time sheet. So how many times, how many hours your labor do the work for the production. So that we make a time sheet. So basically we can define the activity. So let's say the activity we can preset something, let's say execution. We can put 2 hours for activity. And then we can put it, remember from time, because ERPNext is quite sensitive. It's very detailed. So if you leave it like this, 7:30 to 7:30 p.m., just leave it like that, let's say. Nggak usah dirubah, Jo. Biarinin aja coba. Okay, so when you do like that, and then you can link your stock entry to any project or any task inside the project. Okay, and if you press the bill, then it will be billable to the invoice. Okay, you don't need to. And then save. Save. Okay, so you cannot do that because the time is overlapping. So there is another production going on. So you cannot, so you have to change the time. So we have to change from, let's say, from even the morning then. From 11 morning. So we just make it like that. 11, 00, 2, 13. So let's imagine the production happened in 11 o'clock until 1 o'clock. Okay, and then save, submit. Yes. Okay, so when the production finish, we can say the production finish. So one process is finished, we can say finish, create finish. And when the production is regarded as finished, we make another stock entry. So the stock entry will move the stuff from work in progress actually into a finished goods. But in this time, because it's a multi-level BOM, so we still move it into another work in process, but we can define the work in process. So basically, we have work in process step 1 and work in process step 2, so we can know in the report where is which stage is the work in process. Okay, so when we do this and submit, so the production order will be state as completed. So that's the logic. But let's say before that, the stock entry. Yang tadi. No. We can just go to the stock entry from the production order. Okay. Just go to the production order. Yeah, that one, stock entry. Udah load submit belum? Belum. Di cancel aja berarti.
ke production order, berarti kita bikin dari situ aja. So if you cancel the finishing stock entry, it will change the status back to in process. So if we make it finish, there's something wrong. So okay, just want to show you something. So when this is finished, there is a request from Pak Novian that he wants to have a checklist, so a quality inspection for the thing. If the production is going well, usually we will make a new form, or we can do it as a child table, or we can do it as a form. So basically, if you want to put it in every stock entry, you put it as a checklist. We can put a child table, and we can link the child table to the stock entry, and then we can have like a small checklist box to state if there is any problem with the production, if it's everything in a good order, do you have any other questions? You can state that using the doc type that we learned before. So you can create a new child doc type. You can make it you can make a fields, either it's a question field, is it a checkbox, a select box, or any notes or remarks. So this child doc type will always go with the stock entry. So every time you do the stock entry process, you can always do a checklist. Then you save and submit. So the checklist will always stay with your production. Any questions like this? Jawab nggak Pak? Kira-kira gitu ya Pak. Ini kasarannya Pak. Belum sempat nyiapin soalnya. Okay, so after you put the checklist, you save and you submit. So, okay, then you go back to the production. It will be completed. So we can do this repeatable and repeat and repeat and repeat again, but I don't think we have to continue this. But does anyone have a question for the production? Anyone, do you have a grasp about the manufacturing, or should we continue into the sales? What do you think? Yes?
Can we have link from production order to sale order, or we have the sale order and create automatically PO, production order? For example, like we have a plan for sale, and so maybe we have to start with a scenario. If we produce like a mass production, so that means we have to plan for production, right? Or we set the minimum quantity for reorder the finished good, right? And after we set that, setting that, so is the production we have to create manually, or the system can be automatically like a job order?
I think in the ERPNext we have the production planning tools. So if you have a production, let's say a sales order that you need to plan to produce, you can use the production planning tools. Can you open the production planning tools? So inside the production planning tools, it will see that you have a get item from, let's say, a sales order or a material request. So if you select a sales order, it will come out with which item, specific, which, let's say, item something, like a bicycle, with who's the customer, yeah, from date, or what time you're planning to, make it. Yes, yes, like that. And then we can get the sales order. We don't have any sales order now, but if we have, there will be a sales order. Then under down, we can select the get item. So you can get all the items. And then you can create the production order. And then if you don't have order like the stocks inside, you can create a material request. So you can make material requests for which warehouse. Yeah. Let's say you can make it for the stores or work in progress. So you can define your workstation. Yeah. Where are you going to produce? And then you can create a material request. Actually, it will go to it will create material request for the item. So you can go to purchase order And then you can create a purchase order, select from material request, select all the items, select the supplier, then it will become a purchase order. Then you send it, yeah, like that. For the material, yes. Yes. Minimum stock is a different thing. If you order minimum stocks, every time it reach minimum, it will create a material request. But this is production order, so yeah, like that. Yeah. Yeah, so you material request, you can do a material production order, purchase order, then you can receive, then you can, from receive, you can do the production. When you finish, you can sell. Go to material request. Can you go to material request? Yeah. So let's say we make a new material request. We need the required date today. Then you do an item code. Let's say 3 item, any item. Or get item from here. Maybe we can get item from. So we just get it. Yeah, just select any item. You don't have sales order. Okay, right. For stores, all the stores. Okay. Save. Then submit. Then we go to the purchase order. Make purchase order.
For example, if these two should buy from separate different supplier,
So you do a request for quotation.
request for quotation.
Yeah. Okay, to request for quotation. So request for quotation, you can choose the date when you need it.
And can we select the item line?
Yes, you
So
can.
it's like a number one, we request from supplier A, and number two, we request from supplier B.
Yeah, the idea for supplier request for quotation is you will send email to many of your suppliers, so that's why you can have more than one supplier. Let's say you have 2 suppliers. So
But we would like to separate item.
if you would like to separate item, go back
So
to
we
the
have-
okay. So this one is material request.
Yeah.
You can make a purchase order. Purchase order. Yeah, it's a manual thing. So basically you select supplier and then you delete one.
Okay.
Then you make another, then you delete the other one. Oke. Pak, ada tambahan kalau ini? Menjawab? Oke, siap. Any questions for this? This is a functional one, so. Okay, so we will do this one, buy one get one. So ERPNext has a feature for buy one get one. We can have a product bundle. So product bundle is usually when you sell something and you sell it with another product, but you put it as a one product. It's like a BOM, but it's not BOM. It's only usable in sales. So product bundle. Okay, let's say we make a new product bundle. So let's say we want to make a new item. Let's say create a new item. So let's say item promotion 1. Okay, item group, consumer, anything. Okay. Okay, save. Description, anything. So you can add item. And then when you create the sales order to the customer, you select the item as the bundle item. Okay, so when you select that item, okay, go down, down again, more information. Okay, down again. I don't have billing information. Up. Save. Let's say save. Save. Okay, delivery date. There. In the table. Okay, save. Yeah. Okay, go down. No. Okay, not yet. Down. Yeah, that one. When you select and when you sell the product bundle, when you save, it will create the packing list. So basically in the packing list is all the list of the real item. When you sell that promotion item, it will deduct, it will minus this 3 item with the quantity that you defined before. That is the logic of buy one get one. Ya, Pak.
Getting to use on the POS or a bundle.
What's up? There's a question. Can you use product bundle on the POS? You can? Okay. POS. So you can try, but I think, yeah, you can do it in the POS. We will try. Okay. So, any other questions regarding that? Product bundle, yes?
As far as I know, the product bundle is a new separate item from the old item, right?
Product bundle is basically when you want to sell, you can have like promotion product, and then it will have 1 to 3 product inside.
I want to sell this if you buy this one phone, you get another one phone with the same brand. You get 2. So I create an item for product bundle. So it means there are 2 items with the same.
Well, yeah, but you can, let's say, you can say one phone. You can use you can change the name in that item. Let's say Xiaomi. Let's say, I don't know. Okay, Xiaomi phone. And then you can slash or stripe garis tengah product bundle.
Xiaomi phone buy one get one.
Yeah, Xiaomi phone buy one get one. Then the SKU should be different. The item code will be different. Yeah.
So I have to change the old item barcode and give the barcode to the product bundle item.
The in the new product bundle item?
Oh no, because it's like this. Let's say if you go to item, yeah, and then let's say item from then you go to the barcode. Barcode in this item in ERPNext is not linked to item code, so you can have this barcode. I don't know. Can we do the same barcode? Let's say 1111 times. Save. And then we can try. Yeah. We can try any other item. Same barcode. 1111. Okay, save. Reload. Yeah, you can have try the other one. The other one. Item promotion 1. Item promotion 1. The barcode. Yeah, 1. Okay, save. Yeah, you cannot. So maybe we have to do a link. For now, I think the standard one you cannot have the same barcode for the same barcode for 2 different items.
So I have to delete the barcode in the old item and
No, I can suggest that you can have, let's say this is a Xiaomi box, you can put the original barcode, plus because it's promotion, you put the sticker 50% and you put another barcode there. So you tell the let's say the department store, like you say like the promotion item, you scan this one. It will be a you have to do a change in the way of doing things because well if you do like this, you have an original item name and this is will be the promotional item barcode, promotional item stock. You can do like that. The standard solution will be like that. Any other?
Is there any possible way to, let's say, in the period date, let's say 1 January until 30 January, we can buy one Xiaomi free Aqua. So that's why we have generate the barcode in the POS. One Xiaomi automatically Aqua show up and then no rupiah, 0 rupiah. Is there any possible way to do like that?
Well, for the say for the evaluation item, if you say one Xiaomi, you can have the price of the Xiaomi. The Aqua, you can put it as a maintained stock, but then the valuation can be like 1 or 0. No, I don't think you can do 0, but you can do 1 for the Aqua. But I think for the bundle, no, you have to do the product bundle like that. That's the standard. No, especially not in POS. I think for that you have to do a custom script. I don't know. Pak Bobi bisa nggak Pak? Custom ya. Yeah, that's the standard is bundle. Any question, Pak Thomas? Yes.
in the accounting what is product bundles and the product goes to if let's say if 2 products have the same product then they have same price, right?
Yeah.
But if different, for example like the one Xiaomi and one Aqua,
Yeah.
you can put the price on the Xiaomi but the Aqua is 0.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there is product bundle.
Yeah.
Which of these 3 products is goes to the sales?
Okay, so we'll go to the sales order. Actually, we should make sales invoice, not sales order. Okay, so this one, let's say We just make sales invoice and new one. So okay, and then okay, customer one budget. Okay, down the update stock, and then put the product bundle. Product bundle information. Okay, then put the amount. Let's say 100 or 500. Okay, and then down. Okay, no, nothing. Up. Yeah, save. Okay, come on, because this is update stock. Then we can put some discount also, discount and margin. Let's say 10% discount.
Bikin training aja, training.
Okay, save. Okay, when you save submit.
Maksudnya nggak perlu satu kalau bisa online jadi bisa yang dari atas ini kita itu ada include invoice
Nggak baca dulu.
organisasi invoice.
Oh, okay. So warehouse area batch number will be considered as a packing list table. If warehouse and batch are the same for the all packing item, those values will be entered. Okay. So let's say let's do the sales order one. Okay, let's submit. Okay, and then make sales invoice. Make invoice. Save. Menu. So okay. Coba buka. Maybe change the warehouse. Warehouse. Okay.
Maybe we can see on the penjualan account.
Coba balik ke yang tadi yang sales invoice. Kenapa itu mana?
Ya. Karena campur.
Okay.
Kalau seminar cocok nih fungsional.
Down.
Ya, kalau fungsional.
Down again. Yang itu yang apa? Packing listnya. Kok nggak ada?
What's the accounting list? Down.
Okay, yang packing list.
Oh gitu.
Oke, coba turun lagi. Ya, accounting detail coba. We cannot submit for the product bundle. I don't know, maybe not. It's written like this, up. For product bundle item, serial number and batch. Yeah. So, well, I tried this before, but actually, okay. When I save this, There is no menu for, we can save but not submit. Okay, so let's see the administrator. Roles and permission. Roles. User. Nasiousnya dicek aja. Administrator lu dong. Ya, invoice-nya. Okay, I see. Yeah. So, sorry. It's not my laptop, so I don't know. So, we actually already make the workflow permission. That's why when he log in with the low-level permission, so we don't have the permission for the submit. So, let's say approve. Yeah, submit. Okay. So when we submit, down, get the action. Ini submit. Approve lagi. Oh, okay. Approve lagi. 2 times yes, approval. Okay, yes. Okay. Oh, itemnya nggak cukup, berarti masih ganti ya. Warehouse-nya beda soalnya. Lu bikin item promotion, ininya warehouse-nya beda loh. Nggak cukup. So basically, when you submit the product bundle, the sales will be recorded as sales in the product bundle. Let's say, if you say item promotion rate 90, the accounting will create like a sales for 90. Jadi income-nya 90, Pak. And then the cost, they will deduct this one of this 1, 2, 3. So basically, the cost of goods sold will be the frame cost of goods sold. It will be each of the entity cost of goods sold. So basically, when the difference with the BOM is when you do BOM, you delete these 3 products and you make 1 new product. But with the product bundle, you don't delete these 3 products. It will be recorded as these 3 product sales. That's the difference. Any other questions? Cukup, Pak? Any other questions for the buy one get one? Yeah.
Actually, I agree with him that for this kind of product, you cannot use packets. Sometimes we want to show in our receipt that this item is the price.
Yeah.
This price, this item is 0.
Yeah.
And I think it's related to, I mean, COGS.
Yeah.
That if you have put a price or no price, there's different.
Okay.
And if you put the 4 packets, you may print too many items for this, right?
With the product bundle, you don't maintain item. That's the thing. You can sell item, but you don't maintain that.
You don't need, you don't create new item.
Yeah, you don't need to create new item. It's only like you can select the item for sales, but but actually there is no item created, not like Bob or any like repack. If you create repack, it will create a new item. It will delete those 2 items. When in the process, it will delete the 2 items and make 1 new item. So you have, let's say you have 2, then you have 3 items. But then with the product bundle, actually you're selling this item, but it's a virtual item. So when you sell this product, it will take these 2 as a sell, as same as you sell these 2 items. And for the COGS, you can always, you can always deduct the COGS. But basically, you can make you can say the COGS for the aqua can be like 0, no 0, but 1. But then the other COGS should be the real amount, like that. Or you can always use the actual COGS, because when you buy aqua, you always have to pay money for that aqua. So when you give aqua for free and you pay this product bundle, so you can just always sell the price of this product bundle will be the item A price, and then this item B is always the gift, so it will consider 0, like that. Do you get what I mean? Jadi itu namanya harganya itu tetap harga yang item. Misalkan mobile phone-nya aja, yang aquanya ya nggak usah dimasukin di situ gitu. Tetap di promotion ya buy one get one atau beli ini gratis aqua. Tapi ini kan perhitungan accounting ya, kita nggak usah tulis itu, Pak.
Oh, biasa di receipt-nya aja kita kadang-kadang harus
itu harus nanti kita kasih script lagi berarti.
Kalau untuk biar bisa muncul di bawahnya 0 begitu, kita bisa buat pakai print format.
Ya.
Jadi print format itu nanti itemnya apa, di bawahnya keterangannya consist of apa aja. Itu pakai print format possible.
Kayak ini, jadi coba lihat yang ke bawah, you can see. Ya ada packing listnya gitu, Pak. Itu bisa ditarik. Ya. Ya.
For the example, so is if you run to the stock ledger for these 3,
Yeah.
am I correct?
Yeah.
But we don't have any stock ledger for the bundle one.
Yeah.
So the cost of goods sold, COGS, and the stock ledger, stock balance will be shown in these 3.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yeah. Okay.
So what about if we complete this sale order,
Yeah.
and then we deliver like a delivery order?
Yeah.
So and if we use the perpetual, so
Yeah.
we will record the COGS.
The delivery
right?
will be recorded, yeah. Still product bundle, but it will be these 2 items that are delivered. This one and this one.
Okay, so it's like a 2 lines,
Yeah,
double, like a 4 lines,
It's always like
double
that.
2,
The
right?
packing list will be down. And it will be, the
So
item will
what
be
the-
here, but then the packing list, we will always
We'll show
deduct these 2
the, in
items.
like a detail on the like
Yeah.
a stock item.
Yeah.
And what about the invoice? To invoice to customer, can we show just 1 line as the name of the
We
bundle,
can say
right?
as we can do it in the print format. That's true. We can always have a new custom print format that we show that.
the
those 2
list
items.
or just
Yeah.
the name of the new bundle?
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Because in ERPNext you can always change the print format like that.
So, but so this means in the form that we don't need to pull the stock. I mean item name on invoice. We can change to the bundle name because you
Yeah.
say.
You can.
But when we record invoice, I
Yeah.
mean sale invoice,
Yeah.
accounting entries,
Yeah.
so it will be like a debit receivable and credit sale.
Yeah.
And it at that line sale didn't stamp the product, right? Didn't stamp item because it's like a
Yeah, it will be item. There will be a sales for the product bundle itself. The
Name.
Name.
But
But
actually
you
it's
don't
not
see
a-
in the inventory,
in
no stocks.
the, like
Yeah.
we cannot
But
see
you
the
see,
item
you can
ledger,
see in the
right?
sales.
Thank you.
Any other? Okay, if not, then we go to the pricing, members discount. Okay, so in ERPNext we have a discount, we have a price list, we have a price rule. So as you can, when let's say in the sales order or in the sales invoice, new sales invoice. Okay. Let's say in the customer. When you go to the customer, okay, currency and price list. You can always define the customer currency and the customer price list. So each customer can have a different price list. Let's say a big distributor, retailer, like that. That will be the price list, and then standard selling. And then if you go to the price rule, item. If you go to item, item anything. You can always have the price rule. Coba di price rule-nya deh. Atas. Pricing rule. So when you make a new price rule, you can always put the pricing rule anything. Let's say discount price rule. Then you can apply an item code, and you can put the code, and you can define if it's selling or buying. Then you can put the minimum quantity, maximum quantity, valid from, and then you can put the discount or margin, and then you can put the percentage on how many percent for price list, which price list. So you can define the logic for pricing by yourself here. So it can define by the customer. So customer can have a different pricing rule, and item can have a different pricing rule also. Customer has different price list. Item can have their own price rule.
Back to the product bundle. What is the case is customers can buy any two products, but will be charged for the most expensive one. Okay, the things which of the in the accounting, which of the product will be recorded and which one will be treated as zero price? Is there any?
The standard one, no. In the standard one, you define one product or one price. There is no logic for that. When you set the price, it will be the highest price or the lowest price. So the logic behind the product bundle is when you sell, there's a product bundle price. How much? It will deduct the two. Let's say I'll show it.
Ambil value-nya mesti dipesan lagi.
So I think with the product, let's say product A consists of A and B and C. The B one is, the cost is, let's say 10 and 5. So when you sell A, it will generate income of, let's say, 20. But then your COGS will be 10 and C is 5. That is the accounting behind the product bundle. If you say this, when you sell the product A is 20 or let's say 10, logic rather than you choose this one or this one. For now, maybe you have to do like a script. I don't know, Rishab, what do you think? Can you select the pricing for the price rule for the product bundle depending on the...
Define the price for the product. If you are doing that kind of thing, ERPNext is not designed.
Yeah, so there is no out of the box. You have to do a custom.
You make all the combinations inside the price.
Yeah, or you can do a combination inside the price, or you can do it in a print format to show that which one is being billed, which one is not.
So the built-in calculation will be, for example, if we sell a product A for 10, it means from the cost it is 30% discount. So it will be 10% from the B and then 30% from B and 30% from C. It will be and the sales will be in the cost will be recorded. Is that?
No, and in the sales
This yeah, like the item promotion previously that you put the 10% discount.
Yeah.
So it will be go to the it's 10% from each item.
It's 10%.
Yeah. Okay. So there's no weighted discount or something within. Okay.
Yeah. No.
Okay. Thank you.
That's the standard.
Oh yeah. Different question a little bit, but regarding the text, is I try to set up the text.
The text, yeah.
Using the previous amount, but the notification say that it cannot be. You cannot use the from previous amount if it is on the first row or something. Which of it?
So when you set up the text, this will be a different. There's a text rule list. Okay. So you can select the text template. VAT 10%.
No, not on the net total, on the or how to set up this? And it's not on the net total, but on the previous.
On the previous row amount. Okay. Then. Okay. Save. No.
What first row and which previous? What?
Yeah. So I think on net total will be the first you will deduct from the whole total, and after that create some amount, and then on the previous row amount that you will deduct the other one.
How it works? I mean, the behind this form is.
Okay. Let's say 2. Row ID. Which row ID? Because okay, just put 2 or 1. Save. Submit. Okay, and then you go to the sales order. Okay, new sales order, create. Yeah. Any item. Okay, you have to take 2 items. Another item. That's okay. Yeah, okay. So the first one, it will deduct from the
Yeah, so
100.
first 10% charge on net total. And it's hello. I just expand the row. Not that one. That's good. The tax one. Yeah, the first row from tax, expand that. Yeah. So this 10% is applied on net total. So the now value is $110. And the next row, go to that. Yeah. That 5% is applied on previous row. So that is on net total tax amount. So that is 110. On that it applied 5% and then calculate amount. So that is means previous row.
That way it's double taxing.
Yeah, sometimes it.
And it's the tax.
So
will
on
be
previous
double.
row means if there are multiple taxes. Some countries, that in India we have multiple taxes. So in some countries there are multiple taxes on single order. So some are on net total and some are the fractionals which are on value added taxes or something like.
Yeah. Okay. If we have 4 products,
Yeah.
let's say, and then the tax will be 3 previous, and then this one will be different.
So that you have to configure on item master. So which tax is applied on which item, or the tax is applied or not. So there is on item master there is one table. I just to go item master, select any item. Tax. Yeah, item tax. So you can define which tax and what rate it applies. So if particular tax not applied on particular item, put the rate 0. So in calculation it won't consider that item.
Okay, so we go to the UM conversion. So in ERPNext we have a UM conversion. So we have more UM list. Just go to packing and repacking. Okay. Okay, so packing and repacking. So yeah, let's go to the stock entry then. So you can have in the ERPNext you have a stock entry that we can have a repack. Basically, the repack function is to change from the item into another item. So and then you can also change from one UOM to another UOM. So let's see when we put item code. Yang ada lus ini apa? Yang ada lus ini. Okay. And then let's say you sell it at quantity 1, and then you use 1 box, let's say 1 dozen. Yeah. Done. No, I don't think it's the, okay, quantity 1. And then add 1 row. And item code the same. So, okay, source warehouse, target warehouse, no. Okay, save. Oh, valuation rate, just put 1. Basic rate, valuation rate. Okay, UOM 12 to 1, let's say 12 pieces, 1 box. Pieces 12. Ya, quantity 12, benar. Okay, done. Save. Okay, submit. Yes. View stock. View stock. Quantity 12. Okay. So so this is the idea between the stocks for the repack function. So basically, another thing. So with the repack, you can have input and then output. So what we do, we can input the item 6 as 1 box, which is contain 12 piece, and then the output should be item same 6 12 piece. So the repack function convert the item from this UOM to this 12 the other UOM.
I think we should have a separate item for the box and for the individual.
Okay, so
Item box.
yeah.
So you convert item box into item.
Okay, so the repack function can also do to to change the item. So let's say if you do a repack, when you
Actually, you should never do this because the valuation will not be correct.
yeah. Okay. So when you repack things, let's say when you repack something, item 6 into item 10. Okay, coba gitu. Atau item 77. Cancel. Item, yeah. Quantity 1 dozen. Okay. Okay. Yang itemnya itu, item 6-nya ganti dari 12 piece. Okay. Can you view stock ledger? So with the repack, actually you are changing the item, you are converting the item from this item into another item. So sometimes I use the repack function for the like a small production order. So you basically can do like 3 items, let's say item A, B, C, or item like A and B and C. You can change, and then you can repack into, let's say, item D. That's the logic behind the repack function. So when you do this, back again, yeah, it will deduct the 12. It will deduct, let's say here, 12. It will deduct the 12 piece of item 6, and then it will add 1 box of item 77. That is the logic. Does it answer the question? Okay. You can go to the accounting ledger. There. Because be safe, but because the valuation is the same, so we don't have the stock adjustment. When you have a difference in stocks adjustment, then it will create a stocks adjustment. It will go to the COGS. Yeah. If there is no difference in value, there is no change in value, then there will be no GL related. Mm-hmm.
So if we see like the item have different value, so this entry will show the difference.
Yeah, it is.
So you can add a cost with a charges table.
Yeah. So we should make a.
If you have a packing cost, then you can put it in additional cost.
So can we just make a bicycle with this? Okay, just do it. Let's make a bicycle with this. I'm serious. So we make a new stock entry. Huh? Yeah. So the thing is, this will be like a production order. So basically, it's like that. It can be anything. I mean, like when you say you are mixing two stuff. Let's say the delta, the client that I have, the one that I this morning, the testimony, he used this function a lot because they are having like a PCB, no, not PCB, MCB. MCB. The MCB should have 12 ampere, 2204, and then they have the MCB1, and then they have MCB2 of, let's say, 36 ampere, 2204. So this MCB is consist of, let's say, one is contactor, the other is breaker. So this breaker will be the one who's taking care of the 12 ampere or 36 ampere. So because he's a store, these two MCBs are identical, but this one will price $30. This one will cost $36, like that. So sometimes when this MCB is gone, he take the contactor from the 12 one, he take it out, he take the contactor from, and then he put it here, or the way around. So that's when he used the repack function, because this MCB, after he take this one, 12, he put it here, he put the 36 one, he put it here. So it's like switching. Then when you do the submission, it will have a difference in the value. So that's why it will go to the accounting and as a stock adjustment. So the price will adjust because when you move the contactor from one side to the other side, it will be different, like that. So they do this a lot because you cannot, they have minimum quantity for ordering this stock. So whenever the number 2 finish, they cannot just make a purchase order of 2,000 pieces and, you know. So let's say maybe some other only one like 50 or 5. So whenever the stock isn't finished and it's substitute, you can change, then they will change it. Yeah, like that. So that's the repack. Okay. Yeah, Pak. Yes?
I never used this function and I see it just now, and I think it's very interesting and very simple because I have quite a similar operation where I buy a product and then I add a sticker, ingredients and a brand, my label. Right now, I use the manufacturing contents, manufacturing module where I manufacture it, where I add a new. It's called like stickers. Call it stickers. What's the difference between using a repack and manufacturing model? Actually.
The manufacturing model also uses stock entry. Yeah.
Pardon me?
Manufacturing model also uses stock entry.
Okay.
So like let's say you can make the full bicycle in stock entry.
So if you go to manufacturing module, you do a production order. So in the production order, you have the stock entry into the work in process, and stock entry out to the finished goods area, and then you control that in the production order. So if you do the repack, this is no more. You do the stock entry, so basically as Rusab says, no different, but you do only like stock entry, repack. You define the warehouse, and then it will, it will do only one steps. Done. Conversion.
The item from one warehouse to another.
So it's like moving from one warehouse to another, or you do like a process from one item to another.
Okay.
Like that.
I see.
Either you move the item, because I think what I like about the stock entry in ERPNext, it's really like a general ledger for accounting. If you're accountants, you have a general ledger. General ledger, you can do basically anything for accounting as long as you know the accounts.
Yeah.
So in the ERPNext, in the, let's say on the stock entry, you can go up, and then you can define the process, purpose. So in the ERPNext, all the purpose is here for the stocks. So it's like a GL for the stocks. Let's say you do material issue. So basically material issue is a delivery note. You can do that. But let's say you can do material issue for, let's say you are giving a gift to your customer, or you're giving a test item sample to your customer. You don't need to bill, so you do a material issue. And then you do a material receipt, basically your purchase receipt. So it will add to the stock. And
so it will work like for repack. It will work if like I have 2 items from source warehouse, and then like it becomes a new item.
Yeah.
One new item.
Yeah, in the same source warehouse, or can be in a different warehouse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice.
Okay.
Thank you.
And we are going to talk about the consignment. So basically for consignment, so that is the client stuff, client's item, which is not in our stock list. We can also do the stock entry. So basically when you receive your client's item, but you need to document the item, you can do a stock entry receipt. So basically you're receiving all the stuff, you're receiving all the items on behalf of your customer in your designated warehouse, let's say Bikin Baru.
So in this case, we are consigning.
Yeah, let's say if somebody you are consigning. Okay. New stock, new. So let's say material receipt. So we are receiving the stuff from our clients. Then you can put the item, what kind of item that you're receiving from the client. You put the quantity, you put the rate, done. And then you put the warehouse, let's say warehouse 1. Yeah, finished goods. Okay. And then you save and submit. Okay, so you receive this into your warehouse. When you submit, you can see the stock balance. View stock ledger. So basically in your finished goods warehouse, you receive this 10.
Okay. When we do the physical count for this warehouse location, so it consists with our stock and also consign stock. So can we have like a stamp that this is not belongs to us because it's consigned, but this is our stock, our item.
Yes. Do you also sell the same product? Do you have the stock with the same product?
Either. For example, it's like my experience. Sorry, may I share?
Yeah.
So normally when we do the consignment, we have the different location, like a virtual location, different one.
Yeah.
Or even we mark on the item that this is a consigned item.
Yeah.
Even we sell the different item, but we have to know this is not belongs to the company. So when we do the stock count for auditor or for internal auditor, so we have to separate, right?
Okay, so first you can do a virtual location. You can do a virtual warehouse. In one warehouse, warehouse 3, you can set a warehouse. So when you receive the stuff, you don't put into that warehouse, you put to your consignment warehouse. So that means you still have the stock card. The stock card will be there. It will be on the warehouse, virtual warehouse stock card. You still can do the stock count, but you know that the stuff in that warehouse is not belong to you. If you put it in the same warehouse, you can do batch, or you can do different item name. Let's say item 1 / consignment. So it will show you two item A, your, and item A, consignment. It will also show the amount and the quantity of that stock. So you can also do the stock taking. Okay? Okay, and then transfer. So suppose you need to transfer the stocks from your warehouse A into warehouse B. So you do is a material transfer, and then you put the source warehouse, the transfer warehouse. So it should be the target. The source will be the stores. Yeah, targetnya. Yeah. Okay, save. Jangan submit. Okay, so this is how you transfer stocks when you transfer internal. Or let's say this is in Surabaya, another city, so you put the cost of when you, let's say, transportation cost. So you can put the transportation cost by description here, transport cost, and you put the amount, let's say 10, 100. Okay. Jangan banyak-banyak. Okay, done, save. Submit. So this transportation cost of 100 will go into the COGS. So your warehouse maybe in Jakarta can have 100, but then in Surabaya it will be 110 because there is a transport cost to send it to the, okay. So how to let's say when your client finish and he wants to take the stuff back. So when he wants to take the stuff back, we can do a material issue. So basically you are clearing the stocks from your warehouse. Okay. Material issue. Material issue will take out the stuff, your consignment stuff, outside. So basically, if your client asks back the consignment, then you take it back. So this would go for the, let's say if you are renting a warehouse, you rent a space, your client put it there, and then after some point they sell it, and they take it out from you, like that. Is that okay with the consignment? So that's the idea.
The stock belong to us when we sell. The concept is this. If you put the inventory to virtual warehouse, I think it's spread inventory to other, not belong to us. But when we sold this item, it belong to us. The inventory, I mean not put to virtual, but in our, I mean it's belong to us in our warehouse, I think.
Yeah, so also you can have let's say you don't have to issue lah. So you just receive from your client, let's say from your supplier, and then after that you sell. Then basically you go into the sales for your sales. That's the question, right? Okay. But the sales invoice, yeah. So we go to sales invoice. Can we directly make a purchase invoice from the sales invoice? No? So the idea is after you get it from your supplier, when you sell, you make a sales, let's say when you sell, you make a sales invoice. Let's say you sell it to your customer. The same thing. So you can select the item. And then you can select the warehouse from your virtual consignment warehouse. You sell it. Okay. You can do income account. Accounting detail. What if we choose the dropship? Then basically it creates a purchase invoice. We try to with the dropship. So, okay. Dropship, let's say, select the item. Okay, no need. It's okay lah. No. Done. Submit, save, submit. Because that's not a good. That's not a good way. So when you do a receive, you transfer. When you sell, you still make a sales order or sales invoice for the stuff that you sell. It's the same. But then you have to make purchase invoice. So basically that time you buy from your customer and at that time you sell to your client, like that. We can make a maybe custom script to make it automate. So basically when you make the sales invoice, we can create a purchase order and you can get all the list from the sales invoice, item list into the purchase invoice, just submit. Then you have automatically have the purchase invoice and then the sales invoice. So you buy your customer just in time when you want to sell. That's answer? Okay. Any questions? For this last one, the consignment, the logic is like that. We need a little bit changed. Yeah.
Because there was a question from one of our prospective client too. So we did the simulation. We tried. We got it from the discuss as well. So. But I don't know whether each company, because everyone does consignment differently, so maybe depends on requirement of the client. Thank you. What we learn, because two sides of consignment, when we are the supplier and we drop stuff to the customer, I learned that when we do consignment, you just do a purchase order there, and then Irul, where's Irul? Irul, help me, I forgot. And then I'm trying to tell both sides. So if we are the supplier, and then we have stuff to drop to many customer, we just create the virtual warehouse, correct, as Anton said, but we don't receive the item, so it's just PO, purchase order. Can someone go to the item? In the ERPNext, there's two indicators. There's the waiting quantity and there's the actual quantity. So if we don't receive the item, the item, because as what some people say, consignment, we don't own the item until we sell the item. So we don't want the money to go into the GL, because it is wrong. The item that we have, it is wrong that it is a debt. It is not a debt yet to the supplier. So the customer will use the waiting quantity here. Sorry, Anton, can you put the mouse on the stock quantity? The quantity. Go back to the item page. Yeah, but the quantity, the quantity, the bars, the quantity bars. Yeah. The quantity, just down. There it is. If you put your mouse down here, this is like a workaround. So we use the waiting quantity as the quantity that we have, but we don't owe it to someone. So we don't when we do the purchase order, we don't do the purchase receipt. So we can use the waiting quantity, and then every time, that's as a supplier or as a customer? As a customer, right? Correct. As a customer, that way we can manage the stock, the consignment stock. And then when we sell as a customer, this customer will sell it to someone else. We buy it, we receive it, say we PO 5 items. We did try this. So let's say we sell 1 item, we just receive 1 item. So the waiting quantity from 5, it will become 4. So that means when we sell it to someone else, there's the end user, there's the 1 item, we have a debt, and then we sales invoice to that person. When we are on the supplier side, when we want to manage how many items in consumer A and then how many items in consumer B, the same way, it's the other way around. We have virtual warehouse, so each customer consignment have a different warehouse. So for the customer A, we have virtual warehouse A, virtual warehouse B for each different customer. But I don't know whether it's correct or wrong. Yeah, Umar told me formally consignment is not yet handled like opening an order form or opening invoice, but that's a similar workaround. Yes.
So you suggest that the purchase order when the converting quantity is 11, that's your...
That's like, yeah.
That will be your...
So the waiting quantity is like, you are the customer, you want to know how many stocks that you have, but you don't owe them.
So we should have a stock or we should have which is not part of the GS.
Exactly. So if someone else, hey, do you have this item? I want to buy 10 from you. You don't look at, if that's a consignment item, don't look at the actual, but look at your waiting. That's like your consignment warehouse.
You should ask your customer if they sponsor the feature.
Oh, okay. Ask the customer. That's a good idea, yeah.
I think,
yeah.
How about if you're selling the same product,
Uh-huh.
and then actually you also buy the product, and actually you have a pending purchase order, that will be a different, the quantity will be different because...
We also talk about that too, but maybe Rushad.
We should create a warehouse which is not part of the...
Yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah, but we can have this.
I just give a simple thought about the consignment. I think for the consignment, if even we are the customer and then we are receiving the goods from the suppliers, actually we are already responsible for the goods. So I think even we are make the purchase receipt, it will be better. Why? The first, exactly we are capable to see the waiting quantity. But if we are not making the purchase receipt, then we are unable to make the delivery order because the quantity may be minus, negative. And if we are allowing the negative stock, it will be a different story. So I believe if we are making the receipt, and then what is called? We have the debt but not billed yet by the suppliers. That's okay because as the balance sheet, we still don't have increment as asset. Yeah, we don't have increments. And as the profit and loss, we still don't have any changes at the totals. And then when we are sending back, so whatever the goods is not really used, not really being sold, we can make the purchase return. I think that will be the best solution for the consignment. Since if the goods is missing, we still have to pay to the suppliers. So it still will be our cost. Thank you.
So they don't want it to be treated as their own stuff. That's why I say, depending on each client, maybe one client wants to know how much that, but another client, they don't want it to be in the GL.
So there is, yeah. So maybe there is another problems for not consignment, but they just put the goods on us and ask for me. Maybe I have some experience in logistics. They are just count the quantity, but they don't want it to be an asset. It's not their liabilities, and then I think there will be a new custom model for it. But it's still very doable. Yeah, I think that's it.
So I think if there is no more question, we can wrap up and we can just call it a day. So tomorrow we'll meet again at 10 o'clock. How about that? I think we all need some fresh air.
Heavy.